The atmosphere at Anfield was always amazing, but on big European nights, it was extra special. The chorus of the Cop started hours before kickoff, and if Liverpool were to beat Roma, it would go on for days afterwards. The fans sang the old favourites like You'll Never Walk Alone, and they sang the new favourites too. Mo Salah, running down the wing, Salah la la la, Egyptian king. The eyes of the world were on Liverpool's Egyptian king. Mohamed was in the best form of his life, with 40 goals and counting. He had already scored 31 in the Premier League and 9 in the Champions League. Could he keep shooting his team all the way to the final? For Mohamed, it was going to be an emotional night, no matter what. First of all, he was playing in his first ever Champions League semi-final, a moment that he had dreamed about ever since he was an 8-year-old boy. He was following in the footsteps of his heroes like Zinedine Zidane and Francisco Totti. Mohamed was also playing against his old club. When his big move to Chelsea hadn't worked out, it was Italian football that saved him. At Fiorentina and then Roma, he had rediscovered his passion, his confidence, and the path to superstardom. He would always be grateful for that. Mohamed's old manager, Luciano Spalletti, had moved on, but lots of his old teammates were still there. Raja Nyangolan, Stephen El Shahari, and his old strike partner, Edin Dzeko. In the tunnel, Mohamed hugged each and every one of them. Good luck, he said with a smile. May the best team win. Liverpool were far from a one-man team. Mohamed was one part of the big three, the hottest strike force in the world, with Sadio Mane on the left, Roberto Firmino in the middle, and Mohamed on the right. The Reds looked unstoppable. Even Philippe Coutinho's move to Barcelona hadn't slowed them down. They had scored 5 against Porto in the round of 16, and then 5 against Manchester City in the quarterfinals too. If the Roma defenders weren't careful, the big three would run riot again. Come on, lads, let's win this, the Liverpool captain Jordan Henderson shouted as the players took up their positions for kickoff. Even during his days at Roma, Mohamed had been more of a winger than a striker. With his amazing sprint speed, he would race past defenders and set up chances for Edin. At Liverpool, however, manager Jurgen Klopp had helped turn Mohamed into a proper forward and a goal-scoring machine. He still worked hard for his team, but he did it higher up the pitch. That way, if a defender made a mistake, he was always ready to pounce. Liverpool created their first good opening after 27 minutes. One clever flick from Roberto was all it took to set speedy Sadio away. He had Mohamed to his right, but Sadio wanted the glory for himself. In the penalty area, he pulled back his left foot and blazed it over the crossbar. The Liverpool fans buried their heads in their hands. What a missed opportunity. 2 minutes later, another one arrived. Mohamed played a great pass to Roberto, who squared it to Sadio. He hit it first time, high and wide. Groans rang around Anfield. They couldn't keep wasting these opportunities. Liverpool needed more composure in front of goal. What they needed was a cool head. Sadio passed to Roberto, who passed to Mohamed on the right side of the box. With a quick tap of the boot, he shifted the ball onto his lethal left foot. Time to shoot? No, not quite yet. Mohamed took one more touch to get a better angle and then curled a fierce strike into the top corner. The technique was astonishing, and he made it look so easy. Goal! Mohamed put his arms up straight away. He wasn't going to celebrate a goal against his old team. That didn't stop the Liverpool fans, though, or his new teammates. Get in! Jordan screamed, punching the air. In the last minute of the first half, Mohamed passed to Roberto near the halfway line and sprinted forward for the 1-2. The Roma defenders had no chance of catching him. Instead, their goalkeeper rushed out to the edge of his area to block the shot, but Mohamed lifted the ball delicately over him. So calm and so classy. As it rolled into the back of the net, he lifted his arms up again. Goal! There was just no stopping Mohamed. In the second half, he beat Roma's offside trap again and crossed to Sadio for a simple tap-in. 3-0. They pointed over at Roberto. Bobby, It's your turn to score now.